good afternoon to one and all. Thank you very much for your presentation, Heidi, and on behalf of myself and the owner of the Angus Barn, Miss Van Ewer, we appreciate this opportunity to work with the Department of Environmental Health and Natural Resources to address some of these issues regarding natural resources. My name is Greg Ardell. I have been with the Angus Barn for 20 years, starting back in 1990. Prior to that, I was in nuclear power construction for 6 years, and then before that, I was in the Navy for 8 years. And I hail actually technically from Seattle. I claim Texas as my home. I'm here in North Carolina, where I grew up. I love North Carolina. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. This is my home. I love Texas, but this is my home. I was born in Seattle, and the last duty station for me was there in Seattle on the USS Enterprise. So beautiful area up there. And we welcome you to North Carolina anytime you get an opportunity. Thank you for collaborating with us today. Very, very interesting information you provided for us, and actually a lot of my information mirrors years. Over the years, we've developed a management program for all of our natural resources, for our water, for our natural gas, for our electricity, and also for our wastewater discharge, as well as our solid waste discharge and our liquid waste. And it continues to grow. It's something that is not stagnant whatsoever. It continues to improve, and with this knowledge we have today and the different organizations involved, including yours, I'm sure that we'll continue to grow in the conservation of natural resources. My presentation pretty much goes towards water conservation, but this kind of goes across the board. We have a commitment to the environment as a responsible business, that we will lessen our imprint on our environment and be a good citizen in the community. So with that, we'll continue on. This is simply a slide of the Angus Barn. It's 50 years old this year. It's owned and operated by a family. The owner is Miss Van Ewer. She grew up in the business. This was her father's restaurant. She's taken it to new heights. Her mother and father are deceased. She's pretty much at it by herself. She's got a great group of people around her. That's probably her strength, and is knowing people skills and putting people around her that she can communicate with and bring her business to the level that she wants it to. This is our operating permit. This is without this, our doors close, and this in fact is verified by the group of people we're visiting with today, DENR, the Department of Environmental Health and Natural Resources. As a matter of fact, at one time we had our own private water supply system. It was called a non-transit, non-community water system. I had to go get a license for it to operate it back in 1993. And these people are both the people that inspect our restaurants throughout North Carolina, according to a pretty stringent code, and also enforce the Clean Water Act here in North Carolina throughout the state. Moving on. If people come into our restaurant, they'll see this is a little slide of the country store. This is there's water in these products, believe it or not, but they're North Carolina products. They're made by North Carolina people, and the water is a base, very much so in the products that we produce. And the next slide, please. Another shot of the country store. That's some of our wine collection. We have won the world wine spectator award for consecutive years going back to the early 90s, and really any dining award we've been blessed to achieve, and we go forward. We're no better really at what we than what we did today. You can relax in the gun room at the country store. I mean, at the Angus barn while you're waiting on your meal. This is one of the dining rooms. This happens to be in the wine cellar. We got two of these dining rooms and a kitchen that you'll see later in the slides that pretty much stands on its own. We've got 3 or possibly 4 kitchens, and water makes it go. Water is what makes it happen. Our standards are expected to be high for our customers, and they do believe in green. They are a very intelligent customer base. Everybody comes. It's a cross-section of America. People travel from all of the United States and all over the world to dine with us. And they are a very intelligent group of people, and they want 2 things. They want it clean, and they want us to be cognizant on matters regarding conservation and the environment. That's the wine cellar. That particular kitchen serves the adjacent room that was just on the screen. Those wine glasses. People don't want a very nice glass of wine poured into a dirty glass. It's imperative that those wine glasses come out sparkling, and you have to have water to do that. And if you didn't do that with the water, then you would certainly hear from the health inspector anytime. You're subject to inspection at any moment. That's a shot of one of the kitchens. That's again the wine cellar kitchen. The key to our program is the water meter. Back in February of 1993, that's about the time the Clean Water Act came about, and we were pretty novice to that. But in February, we recorded a spike of 33,000 gallons in one day for water consumption, and that worked out to be we had 25,000 customers, but for every customer that come through the door, we used 32 gallons of water for every customer that come through the door. That was just a phenomenal amount of water to me and to our management group, and we thought we'd begin to look into these issues of not using any more natural resources than what was needed to operate efficiently. One of the things we did was to identify those things, such as you had in your presentation. A steamer. A steamer is a water consumer, and a major water consumer. Adjacent to this steamer, which is not on this slide, and I don't have it in this presentation, but adjacent to the steamer is indeed a new model of a steamer by a different manufacturer that is incredibly efficient. This particular steamer here may be an industry standard, and it is way over what we need. Sometimes, I won't say sometimes, I'll say in many instances, commercial restaurants seem to be engineered, and I'm not the engineer, but they seem to be engineered for worst case. Just in case you need it, it'll be there. But all the time that you don't need it, you're still paying for it. And this thing is a major consumer of water, and we've recognized that. And before this unit plays out, we will already have the manufacturer, the model number, and the availability of an efficient water unit that we can slide back in its place. Next. The fire system. The fire system is certainly you wouldn't drink the water out of the fire system, but water is required, and it's surprising how many leaks underground or in the wall or somewhere outside under the floor or outside somewhere in the parking lot that you may have a water leak from the system, and it would indeed be something that you need to be aware of and correct if it was leaking. Those pipes right there happen to be exposed fire system water pipes, and we watched them closely for a leak. Not all is required for water conservation is high tech. That's a simple aerator attached to a hand wash sink. That'll cut down on your water consumption about a third, and maybe in a house it may save us. I won't say how much it'll save. I'll just tell you that you can cut it down to whatever is appropriate for that specific application. That right there is probably a $100,000 machine that we invested in. That's smart. It knows when to shut off. It knows how much water to use. And again, you've got to maintain all your equipment. But if you're going to replace something, it took us a year to find that and to get it installed. That's the machine downstairs. I saw that machine in the Chicago show, and a couple years after I saw it, we needed a machine, so I got a hold of the vendor, and that's a very simple machine to maintain, and it's very water efficient. It'll wash and rinse dishes 15 seconds faster than any other machine on the market. That's a pre-wash sprayer, and again, that will cut down on the amount of water consumed by pre-rinsing your dishes and your glasses before they go in the dish machine. A urinal. Not much that urinal, but that flush valve is significant. It is a green flush valve, and it has cut down. It's helped cut down on the water consumed at the facility. I noticed that green handle on that particular customer commode or water closet. For liquids, you pull up, and solids you push down, and it's very effective. There's the instructions that are posted right there in each stall for our customers, and they use it. That's different technology. That's down in our wine cellar. That is a particular water closet, totally different technology than the other two, the urinal and the other commode. But that particular one is just designed totally different, and it's designed with water consumption in mind, and it is proven. That's an instantaneous hot water heater below a hand wash sink. Not all of our, remembering that our building is 50 years old, and that it's been added to and added to and added to over the years. It's important that number one, we have instantaneous hot water for ourselves and sanitation and the health inspector, but also that we don't have to wait for that hot water to get from one end of the building to the other and waste all that water just for it getting hot. So that little device down at the bottom is inexpensive, it's efficient, and we use, there's probably 10 of them in place right now. That's a hot water circulator. Again, on many of your equipment, it needs hot water to operate properly. And if it doesn't get the hot water, there's another hot water circulator. If it doesn't get that hot water immediately, then it's going to run cold water, and you're going to waste that water because it's not hot, it's not effective, and it's simply going to be wasted. When you're having a problem with your water system, your plumbing system, it's important to field install those controls that you need to isolate and troubleshoot. That's a simple pressure gauge in the water system. A water flow control valve to isolate hot from cold. That's pretty neat. It looks like it's just a gallon of chemical stuck under a sink, but that's really a high-tech, cutting-edge chemical. It's a non-pathogenic chemical, if you will, or solution, if you will, that will clean floors very effectively with less water. And again, we at the Angus Barn appreciate the time given to present our ideas, and we appreciate your ideas. Thank you.